Okay, 949 Maryland, it's,
Let me just read in the numbers, please. 949 Maryland, we've got current tentative assessed value of 170,000 with a land value of 11,100. Petitioner believes the fair market value is 177,391, which would be an assessed value of 102,000. All right. I turn it over to you. Okay.
Would you like to swear me in, Joe?
Yes, I would. Can you raise your right hand? State your name for the record.
Joseph Lesnow?
You affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability.
I do.
Okay, good. All right, very good. I've read in the numbers, so Mr. Franklin, let me turn it over to you.
okay, it's got it assessed at 170, at 170.
That's right.
He revalued it based on a sale, claiming that there were improvements, and there hadn't been improvements in 10 years. Okay, you swore me in, that's my testimony, there has not been any renovations in 10 years. All right, it's assessed at 170,000. Here is 923 Maryland, 135,000. 933 Maryland, 130,000. 939 Maryland, 136,000. 949 Maryland, I'm sorry, I need new glasses. 945 Maryland is 127,000. And here's my client, 170. And then here's, let's see, 951 is 121,000. So,
Okay.
yeah, so he singled the property out because of a non-arm's length sale. And he claims that there's renovations that his inventory wasn't aware of that had been there for 10 years. Now, I mean, that's part of the problem, is that yeah, he sees an MLS listing, but he doesn't have the wherewithal to look at all the neighbors' houses renovations. On every one of these properties, there's no improvements on any of these properties. If you believe that to be true, but I don't believe it to be true. So if he had all this evidence of these improvements, the law would require him to itemize those and to demonstrate what the value of those properties. You can't just reassess the whole thing because you see somebody, put a kiddie pool in the backyard. You have to value that individual item. So if he thinks that there's renovations that were done 10 years ago, that is my testimony. That's my client's testimony. It hasn't been done in 10 years. She has done none herself. He's saying that there's new inventory. I looked at his data.
All right.
I looked at his data, and his condition and his has not changed.
He's going to speak in a minute, but let's stay on course with what you have as far as the property.
It's unequal.
Okay. You have something to
I
submit
mean,
there?
you did listen to what I said about the neighboring assessments, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're, if he's going to say that there's improvements, he can't use an arm's length sale and pin the sale. So if he's saying there's improvements, itemize the improvements and tell us what the value is.
All right, well, we'll get to him in a second. Is there anything you want to submit in that packet?
Yeah, I can give you these here. Just had eye surgery, so I'm a little messed up. So those are the subject property inventory summaries, and then the notation is the assessment and fair market value for each of those.
Okay. Fair market value first and then the assessment after.
Yeah,
Okay.
obviously the larger figure. And again, I asked for data from Joe. He gave me some data, much better than in the past. A big improvement. Also, we have an improvement that we don't talk about God anymore. That's good. But I only got half the data. And if we got all the data, then we could have an intelligent conversation. He illegally used these MLS reports that are proprietary. And he used Ed Cole's account. And Ed Cole's in violation of the MLS rules. The city of Syracuse should be using their own accounts not Ed Foles accounts. Okay, it's improper, and, you know, you swore him in, and he indicated that he had established the changes from the deed, and I go, the deed tells you where changes are? He goes, oh, no, it's public information, he says. I said, you mean like this? And he says, oh, no, it's improper. But anyway, he selectively assessed the property based on the sale. And he, the neighboring properties are also assessed significantly less. And he hasn't substantiated these improvements that were done 10-some years ago. So it would be.
Let's go to Joe. Before I do that, though, these are the comps that you wanted for 252?
Okay.
Those are the city comps. Joe, let's.
So with regards to Maryland, we became aware that there was finished attic space and finished basement that we didn't have collected. We reviewed the assessment. It was raised 2 years ago. And at the time, the assessment wasn't raised to the selling price, it was just increased. It was substantially less than what it sold for. And based on the sales, that's where why the change was made.
All right, so what was the selling price?
270, I believe.
And what was the assessment raised to?
Oh, no, excuse me. The selling price was 305. The assessment, full market at the time was 270. With our equalization rate drop, it's increased to like 295 right now.
And it hasn't been raised since?
No.
No, okay. So this was like a continuation of a couple years ago as far as why the grievance was brought?
Right.
Okay, all right, so I've got the pertinent information. You have anything that you want to submit?
Are you going to itemize those improvements for us?
You're talking about cost approach to value?
Well, you said there was improvements.
Yeah. The
So
attic-
how,
Well, when you change the living space, you're looking at a different set of comps for sales comparison.
I see those camps?
It's the same copy that you have.
Oh, you gave the, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did the same thing on 826 Maryland Ave. He pinned the purchase price on that one, too. It's illegal.
Okay, you've established that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason that you're at 57.5% is, number one, you haven't done a reval in 25 years. And number two, you keep letting them get away with this blatantly illegal activity.
Again, we take from both sides and determine what we feel
I know
the
you do.
properties.
I know you do, but you don't. And, you know, you don't seem to know what the law is on this stuff. He selectively assessed this property. He used the sale, but he didn't analyze the properties that didn't sell. It's the definition of unequal. And properties that didn't sell had no increase. The whole street,
This was the only property
the
that
only
was
property,
increased?
except for the other one that sold, that just sold in,
That neighborhood was reviewed last year.
it was, I think it was December. And he pinned the purchase price on that one. It's illegal.
All right, so you've established
It creates
that.
unequal situations. So the new people are getting screwed, and the people who've been there a long time are not getting screwed. And so hers was on 170, the others are 121, 130. You know, I provided you with that data. And if you think that that's okay, you just stick it to the new people. If you think that's okay, then I guess that's on you, but it's not right.
All right, I think we're in good shape. Anything else you want to say, Joe?
All set.
All right, I think we've got all the information we need to make decisions. I could not find any interior upper. I've got a quadrillion shots on the basement, but I couldn't find anything else. I scrolled all the way through.
No, it's in here. Give me a second. The guy takes a lot of pictures, that's for sure.
Yeah, of the basement.
It's a pretty thorough, but there's just one other thing I want to tell you about that.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll let you go. And I tell you, if I just get my data, I'm not a miserable guy, I tell you, but believe me, I'm not. I just want the data, because it's just, you're just wasting my time. It's ridiculous. Because if I get the data and it turns out I'm wrong, then I don't have to come here and waste all your time. I don't have to waste your time, you know? Because I don't bring them unless I know I'm right. Because, you know, I got better things to do. That'll get me to the top.
Just for
No.
Maryland?
Yeah, so you're all set. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Have a good one.
A little more cooperation on the data, Joe, and we'll be all set. If you, yeah, if I can just get my data, we won't have any trouble.
I figured you were aware that it's not my decision.
You know, it's the law. 89.3A, Public Officers Law, 89.3A. You guys have to give me this data. You know, it's bad customer service, and you're in violation of the law. And if I have to prove it to you again, that's what I'll do. But I also have better things to do than that. Want me to just email you the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll do that. But I just want one more thing. Is how irregular these sales are. And basically, I'm under the impression that these people are getting ripped off. Okay.
Yeah, then we'll have to wrap it up, because this guy's been waiting
Yep,
pretty good.
Let's see. Recording fees 70, deed recording 70, mortgage recording 75, 75, 160, 912, 30, 37, 37, 125. This is all from Chicago Title. And then the home headquarters wants $500 for a consultation, so they got about $2,500 in fees, and then they charge them 6.5% interest on top of it. It just strikes me as a scam. This just doesn't look right whatsoever. And
Well,
and you
it might be
inspection after the fact, one attorney, and it's just it's the whole sale is completely irregular, and I probably ought to send a copy of it to the Department of State, because this isn't right.
Yeah, I think maybe you ought to look at the home headquarters then.
Yeah, I think that they're taking advantage of.
Yeah, well, you know, and again, I say that if that's the case, then it should be looked at.
45 and 69. For 25 years, it was 45. The neighborhood went up 16. They should be up 16. I think it's pretty clear.
Is he still talking about a case that's already been heard?
Yeah, it's okay. We're good. We're good.
You're the chairman.
Mr. Franklin, thanks for coming in.
I'm glad you're
Appreciate it.
gone.
And the city will send you a notice, couple weeks, the first part of April.
I asked you for the end. Things can be really nice and professional.
All right, thanks
Thank you.
again. Thank you. All right, 644-646